Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakat, and welcome back to the MACOON Street Hour this Sunday morning. We are we're having a discussion with our brother who accepted Islam just recently, Abdul Rahman, and it's an interview asking him some questions, some serious questions, and I think he would want to ask some questions also.
Yes.
So yes, the viewing audience, we have our brother Abdul Rahman, and we'll continue with the questions. Abdul Rahman, Abdul Rahman, what do you what is your view so far that you're fasting, alhamdulillah? How do you see the fasting? What's the difference in fasting as a Muslim than fasting prior, how you used to fast before?
Fasting is it's very much different from, well, the previous faith of Christianity.
Yes.
Christians fast, they have different levels of fasting, meaning that some can go an absolute fast
Yes.
without food and water.
Yes.
Some can go without food but drink water.
Yes.
Some can have food and water, but they're abstaining from meats.
Yes.
So there's no meat in the diet.
Yeah.
There's also partial fast and full fast, meaning that they can fast for a certain amount of hours, probably about 6 hours or probably about that. Their fasting, some of their fasting is much, probably I would say longer. There's no there's no meal taken. There's no meal taken before the fast.
Okay.
So as you awake in the morning, you're already in a state of fasting.
Okay.
Apparently, and that's basically the difference. I think that the fasting of Islam there's much more in depth, meaning that you spoke about in one of your teaching sessions at the MACOON Street Masjid about the fasting of the mind and the fasting of the eyes and the hands and the mouth and the nostrils and such the like. So it's more than just abstaining from food and from drink. It's as if you are cleansing or purging or trying to purify your entire being.
Subhanallah.
You understand? So it's a fasting of your entire being.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
So that you are attending our masjid, right?
Yes.
Our masjid, MACOON Street Masjid. What was your first experience of Jummah? What it was like?
It was one of unity and togetherness.
Unity?
I say that because our prayer, it's very uniformed. We come together. The brothers would say the shoulder should be touching the shoulder.
Yes, yes.
So we are moving as one unit. We are praying as one unit.
As Muslims, we need to be like this.
And in the church, you would have we would come together and we would hold hands and such like. But we are moving. I didn't feel that level of unity like I felt at Jummah.
Subhanallah.
And there's such a warm reception. There's a reception from most of the members that they're very encouraging. They are always willing to give advice.
Yes, yes.
They're always willing to, they're asking questions. They're interested in you as a new person.
Yes,
as someone
yes,
who's
yes.
new there. It's a community environment.
Yes,
yeah.
as Muslims, we need to, it's part of our religion now that you have accepted Islam. We need to attend to you. We need to seek your interest. We need to see about you. We need to make sure that you're going all right.
I appreciate
that.
Yes.
It's obligatory upon us.
Yes.
How is like iftar, your take on iftar, this style of iftar, how we break the fast? Your first iftar, what was it like?
It's very interesting. I like to, every time I attend, there's always something new that I observe. I like like I said, it all comes down to me in that there's a warm community feeling,
Yes.
As a person who fasted before, I mean, in the previous faith I fasted, and coming back to fasting again for Ramadan, it's a difference.
Yes.
So it's all very different. It's all very new. It's all very fresh.
Yes.
It's all very interesting.
Yes.
I like how the breaking of the fast is done with a simple meal.
Yes.
You know, as you said, as the Prophet would break his fast just with a moist date.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's nothing heavy.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes.
and this is, I like that. So
And
that
then later on we will have the meal.
I have a
After the
meal.
prayer.
Yes.
MashaAllah. Good, good.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. And this warm reception, you can get it at the MACOON Street Masjid.
Yes, you
And
can.
everyone, you are welcome to join. Those persons who are contemplating accepting Islam, do not waste time. We don't know if we're going to live tomorrow. Call me, my number is on the screen, and you can meet me, we can meet, we can have discussions, whatever background religion you have, we can prove from the text the mercy and the blessings of Islam. And we have discussions also. Call that number on the screen. Come visit me at the masjid, accept Islam. So thus far, many persons have been accepting Islam. And now we have started an outreach program. After accepting Islam, we have classes, teaching, and I'm spending time with these persons now because from the previous persons who accepted Islam, they accepted it and that's it. You don't see them practicing anything or wanting to learn. And that brings us to our classes. So far, how you find the classes has been going?
Yes, very well so far. I have learned a lot. I have learned some of the surahs from the Noble Quran.
Yes, yes.
Surprisingly, I believe that recitations would have been difficult, not having understood the alphabet and the Arabic.
But now, alhamdulillah, it's getting there.
May
May Allah bless you and make it easy for you, dear brother. Do you have any questions for me?
Just a couple of questions I had.
Let's see what we can
from our previous conversations that we had off air, of course. You were saying that the path that you have taken, Maulana, in that you saw that not many young people were pursuing this direction, this path, and that you also said that many of the youths are going astray. And we were just speaking about the youths involved in these activities, you know, these gang activities. What can, and back to the question also, what can a person, a young man like myself, or what can Islam do to help these young men, these men who have been misguided? And, you know, what can we do to combat the propaganda put forward by these groups that are professing Islam and that are drawing these young men into their fold?
Yes, like how can we combat this?
Yes.
This is a tough question, you know. But it's simple. We need to be more out there. Yes. We need to bombard the minds of the people with truth. With dalil from the Quran and the Hadith, explaining what is the correct position on a matter. And you see, what is happening, the youths are drawn to this group because it's mostly based with ignorance. And a problem we'll find now, the leaders of these groups are ignorant. They are not learned in the Islamic fields and sciences. If they were learned in the Islamic fields and sciences, they would not guide their people down that path. They would be able to keep them on the straight path, the straight path, the correct way. So knowledge is very important. Knowledge is very important. And the persons who are seeking leadership, they should be well equipped in the Islamic sciences. Our outreach program should be better. We should be able to meet more persons. As you said, that you find that there are not really much outreach program from the Muslims or the masajids in Trinidad. So we need to have more programs geared towards getting the youths in line. And you see, youths, young persons too, they are attracted to things that they like at that age. You know, some of them nice cars, music, hills, etc. And our religion shows that these things, if you try to obtain them via a unlawful mean, it is haram. Yes, you can like women, you can love women, no problem. You can love cars, but obtain them in a lawful means. Marriage. If you want women, married. Take them as wives. Marry them. Have jobs. Obtain your cars. Don't go steal. Don't go. Do you understand? So, getting your wishes or those things that you are attracted to via lawful means, and this is also important. And moreover, mostly important, I would think, is our outreach program we should design programs that captivate the young ones, and like field trips, going out, etc., camping. Get them in your grasp and then explain to them the truth. And inshallah, I think this could help if we can do this.
And that's a very good point you made. I have been to other countries actually. I've been to
Yeah.
the Philippines, and
Yes.
the year that I went to the Philippines last year,
Yeah.
just the month before I arrived,
Yeah.
there was an attack
Yes.
in that part of the country.
Allah,
And
ISIS.
yes,
Yeah.
the ISIS had been there recruiting the young boys from
Yes.
the villages that were impoverished,
Yes. Yes.
and they lured them with promise of a stipend,
Yes.
little bits of money and some
Yes.
food.
Yes.
You understand? So it creates a social. I believe it creates a social a vacuum, a social pocket, that where
Yeah.
that, these organizations can take advantage of impoverished youths.
Yes,
Youths
yes.
that don't have,
So
yeah.
then it leads to another thing. We need support from you there,
Yes.
viewing audience. You need to support your masjid. The only way we can have programs to get these youths together if we have the funds. As you say, it's a very important point. You get the youths coming to classes and you give them a stipend.
Yes.
You give them a little stipend, a little change, because they're not
little
working,
change,
they're going to
yes.
school, and that's a form of attracting them.
Yes,
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Coming
Yes?
back to the subject that touched on leadership, those who are seeking leadership,
Yes.
that some of these leaders are, if you say, ignorant,
Yes.
they're not enlightened.
Yes.
What is the curriculum or direction of study that one should take if they would like to become a mufti or a Maulana or an imam
Okay.
or a leader of such?
First, you should get enrolled in an accredited institution.
Yes.
And you look throughout the world, accredited institution. There are some, one basically people know here, Darul Uloom.
Yes.
People go to that school. But
That's unaccredited.
no, I don't know if it's accredited, meaning Islamically. They're trying to get accreditation. But what I'm saying, accredited like a renowned Arabic university or those universities or schools in
Yes.
India, Pakistan, or the Arab countries,
Yes.
and very importantly, you have to be careful too because you have, which leads me to our next question. Before I go into that,
Sure.
the sects, the different groups that you have
Yes.
observed.
Yes.
So we need to make sure it is a Sunni institution.
Right.
Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, Sunni institution, a Sunni school, accredited Sunni school. Such places are found in South Africa, India, Pakistan, Yemen, Saudi Arabia also. They have Sunni school of thought where they are Sunni doctrine, and you follow the syllabus. They have a set syllabus. Basically, it's like Darsi Nizami. The other institutes that they don't have that full Darsi Nizami. Some persons they go 3 years to study a made up curriculum to give you a degree in Islam. So now someone who just studied a 3 years degree and got their bachelor's and then they go to 2 years, they will get their master's, etc. And they're now qualified in Islamic studies. It will be different from someone who studied traditionally Dars in Nizami. And I'm a student of a Dars in Nizami system, or a place you could have went to was Syria, Damascus, Shams. Now the place is in chaos. But still there are some persons going there, traveling. England also, there are places. So you seek institution that is accredited and it is amongst the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and you study the Islam, you study the Quran, and you become qualified and equipped with the right understanding
Yes.
and interpretation of the Quran and the Hadith.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
So, do you have any institutions off the top of your head that you can recommend? Like, what institution did you attend?
I went to an institution in South Africa located in Ladysmith. It's called Darul Uloom Qadriya Garib Nawaz. It's a long name.
Yes,
It was named after a great saint from India, a great saint, Garib Nawaz, Khwaja Muinuddin Chishti. Our teachers there were graduates from Jamiatul Ashrafiyya in India. These are renowned Sunni institutions. So I would recommend this school, but now there's problems with visas. We have a lot of issues with visas. Yeah. So I recommend this. And the other institution I'll recommend persons to Damascus, Sham, Syria. Now that the situation is in chaos, Al Azhar University in Egypt. Very renowned,
I've
very
heard
good.
of that one,
Yes,
yes.
Maulana Zubair, my colleague
Yes, yes.
that is working with us at the MACOON Street Jamaat. He is a graduate from Al Azhar University, Egypt. Very good, very high level school. Alhamdulillah, this is very good. These are some of the prominent Sunni schools.
Sure, good,
Yes.
good. As besides the Quran, the Noble Quran, and
Speak
the
a little
Hadiths,
loud, yeah.
the Quran and the Hadiths. I
Yes.
believe there are 6 major books
Yes.
of the Hadiths.
Yeah.
What other recommended reading material that someone who's new or can source
Okay,
to get knowledge?
Yes, for new persons, there are certain websites I can recommend.
Yeah.
www.esheikh.com. It's a good website. Nurimedina.com. Nurimedina.com. Because people go to Google and now you see most of the information in Google,
Yes.
it is contrary information by the different sect and groups. The sect and groups and small pamphlets and booklets from the different Islamic organizations here in Trinidad, Ashtia. They have different pamphlets and flyers and magazines that go out. You can read, you can get little bits and pieces, stuff like that. Or kitabun.com. It's a Islamic website. You get books from different categories, different age groups, and you can find something for a person who has newly accepted Islam. It goes in stages. You can search a wide variety of content, and you can choose. Yes.
Yes. Hopefully that would inspire the younger generation in our country to pursue the same path that you have followed.
Yes,
Maulana.
inshallah. And also, people can come and talk to me also. They can come to talk to us. Yeah.
So those are all of my questions, basically.
Okay. What do you
Lay
think
out.
about the groups, the sectarianism in Islam?
I believe that sectarianism should not be something that we should encourage.
Yeah.
There's one, the ayat from the surah.
Yeah, chapter 49, Surah Al-Hujurat.
Yes, if you don't mind, I will pull it up.
Yeah, no problem. We've created you from... You wrote it on the other side
Yes,
of
I
the
wrote it there. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It says, "O mankind," if
Yes.
you don't mind me reading it.
No, you continue.
Yes, indeed we have created you from male and female and made you people and tribes that you may know one another. That to me, this represents unity and togetherness. Yes, we are differ, we have differences of opinion, we have differences in teaching, but I believe that as Islam, we should be as one. We should be as one body. We should be one mind, one spirit, one desire to go forward. We know that some people that I've not that I've spoken to, but I've heard a lot of commentators saying that the greatest enemy to Islam is Islam itself. I don't know how true that is.
Islam itself.
Islam itself. Seeing that we are so divided, because in the research that I have done, I've seen that there are 73 sects.
Yeah,
It's more than probably more than that. Yes, as you said. The division. We should be as one body.
Yeah,
we are one.
We
religion.
are one. But what's causing the division, as I said, the ignorant leadership.
Ignorant leadership.
Ignorant leadership. You have a lot of ignorant persons wanting to be leaders. And that's causing a lot of division. A lot of division. And then with the fall of the Islamic Caliphate, remember we were all one, and these misguided groups did not have the power to rise up against Islam. So when the enemies of Islam got rid of Islamic Caliphate, we lost our Caliphate, then all these different groups came out. They emerged at a greater rate. They sprung out, and they were fueled by the enemies of Islam. They were financed.
By the enemies of Islam.
Yeah, I can call names, but no, this is not the program to call the names. But they finance them, and that is how. So they want the Muslims to not to be connected, not to be united. That's their goal. And once the Muslims are united, it's going to have a lot of impact in society. So the enemies of Islam, they will finance false groups and misguided groups. And finance it and cause it to spread this chaos. Yeah. So, dear brother, so far, what really made you to accept Islam? What was the turning point that caused you to accept Islam?
turning point was at a time in my life where I had to seriously reevaluate my life. I believe we discussed this coming up in the car to the studio here, that I was involved in a major serious accident.
Yeah.
And at that point in time also my mother had become seriously ill.
Yes.
And she
Allah
had a
make it easy
stroke.
for her.
Yes. And there were other matters also that when they came together, they caused a great psychological, emotional burden upon my heart and mind. And it was at that point in time, you know what came back to my mind at that point in time? Was exactly the same thing that we spoke about. The very first question that you asked me is just that Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. That came back to my mind. And it is like, you know, that psychological burden that I had at that point in time, that dark period that I went through, it caused me to doubt a lot of the path, the direction in which I was going. And when that recitation came back to my mind, I remembered, I started to ask myself, am I really on the path of truth? And obviously, I believe every human being's desire is to seek the absolute truth.
Yeah.
Right. And
Okay, I can ask you a question.
Sure,
You said
sure.
that you were going through a stage that you thought psychologically not fit, or you had a psychological issue. You were going through that stage.
Yes.
I can ask you a question openly.
Sure.
What do you say about the critics now? The critics of Islam. They say, "Boy, I think you brainwash."
The critics of Islam?
How would you answer if someone said, "I think you're brainwashed," or "You were fooled. You're not making a good decision here in accepting Islam"? How would you answer this critic?
The critics of Islam need to ask themselves if they are the ones who are not deceived, or if they are the ones who are not the disbelievers.
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of the ideas that surround Islam in the minds of persons as a result of, like I said, the misguided groups that are there.
Yeah.
And these groups are given a lot of airplay, a lot of
Yes.
airtime on the television, on mainstream media. You're not seeing an effort, or if I may be wrong to say so, but you're not seeing an effort by real Muslims, real Islam, to counteract. You know, the propaganda is dominating the minds of
Yes.
persons all around the world. That we are a bunch of terrorists. You know, we seek by bloodshed, and you know, people going around shouting Allahu Akbar and,
Yes.
and committing beheadings and stuff like that.
Yes.
That is not what Islam is about. Islam is Islam, by its very definition, from what I have researched, is submission to God.
Subhanallah.
Are these people submitting to God?
Yes, yes.
I
That's
don't
very
believe that
important.
they
Are you
are.
submitting to God?
Are
That's
you
a
submitting to God?
well
Yeah.
answered, very well answered to your to the critics. As you're here, what can you say for those persons, non-Muslims, who may be viewing? Any special message to them to help them to make that decision? Any advice?
Yeah. If you're looking for truth, my brothers and sisters, if you're looking for truth, if you're seeking the answer, and like I said, you spoke in the last question, if you want to really truly submit to God, you really want to know what is your purpose for being here, why it is that you are in existence, why did Allah create you, then don't delay, as Maulana said, don't delay. Take this step, and take a step in faith, and just come into Islam, come into the hands of Allah, and He will guide you on the right path, and He will make it easy for you.
Okay.
On the right path.
One more question. I don't know how much time we have, studio. How much time is left? Please let me know. Yes. One more question. What did you practice before? What faith?
Christianity, Pentecostal Christianity.
Pentecostal.
Yes.
Do you find any similarities between that and Islam?
Similarities.
The reason why I'm asking this question, people say all religion is one and God is one, but what's the difference? What is similarity between? Are there any similarities, or are there vast differences?
There are vast differences. Islam is one God.
Yes.
We have in the Christian faiths that There seem to be many gods. You have the Catholics,
concept of the Trinity, etc.
concept of the Trinity. The Catholics are saying that there are different saints and such the like, and they pray to these saints.
Yes.
Islam is one God
Yes.
that you pray to.
Yes.
There's much more in Islam. There is more discipline, honestly speaking. Just in the performing of your salah, your prayer. It takes discipline. It takes a lot more focus, a lot more concentration.
Yes.
That's not a bad thing. That's a very good thing. You're more focused on God. You're focused on the acts of performing worship to God.
Yes.
And praying to God. It's no more than just mindlessly reciting. Because the Catholics also have the rosary.
Yes.
It's more than just recitations of the rosary, you know.
Yes, yes.
So those are the vast differences, you know, the obligatory times for praying.
Yes,
you know,
etc.
You know?
Okay, we have to come to an end now, and inshallah, time has come to an end. We'll wrap up now. Dear viewing audience, you've been viewing MACOON Street Hour for the past hour, and with me in studio, our dear beloved brother Abdul Rahman, and this is an open call to the non-Muslims or those who are contemplating to accept Islam. Call me, 396-3503. 396-3503. Visit us at the MACOON Street Masjid. There we have an outreach program for those who are willing to accept Islam. You can have a discussion with this brother also. What's your number? You can
773-6857.
Right, that's his number, 773-6857. Call him, have a discussion, and make up your mind before it's too late. Accept Islam, it's the right direction you're going. May Allah Almighty forgive us in this month of Ramadan, accept from us our fasting, and make it easy for us all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.